We have a special interview with a member of Congress who's hoping to become the next governor of Tennessee. Tennessee Representative Diane Black is a Christian, a nurse, and a mother who has served on Capitol Hill since 2011. During her time, she's been on the House's Select Investigative Panel on Infant Lives, which investigated the abortion industry, and has sponsored and co-sponsored a number of pieces of pro-life legislation. Representative Diane Black of Tennessee and Marjorie Dannenfelser, president of the Susan B. Anthony List, join us right now in studio. Thank you both for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
Fun to be here.
It's great to be here with you.
These ladies.
This will be a great conversation. Congressman, I want to start with you. You helped lead recently a coalition of House members to tell the Trump administration's HHS department to enact the Protect Life rule, which essentially cuts Planned Parenthood off from Title X funding. We now saw President Donald Trump recently make this official. What do you make of the president's action on this?
I say hooray. You know, this is something that we've been talking about here on the Hill for quite some time. I remember several years ago when we had Cecile Richards before the OGR, the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and that was part of my argument with her, is if you would just stop doing abortions, we wouldn't be talking about how you use your Title X funds for family planning. But abortion is not family planning, it is family destruction. Thereby, it does not meet the criteria that Title X was set up to do.
Absolutely. Marjorie, your group, the Susan B. Anthony List, solely exists to elect pro-life members. Congressman here is now running for governor of Tennessee. You have recently endorsed her. Tell us about that endorsement.
No, it is truly an honor to sit here next to Congresswoman Black. I believe her husband says she has the heart of a nurse and the mettle of a Marine when it comes to life, and this is how I have come to know her. There is really no one who matches Diane with that tenderness that she has for the unborn, as a legislator, as a grandmother, as a mother, but then also the tactical skills, the vision, and the execution that a Marine might have, but even better, a legislator. Her foresight and her vision is unmatched among women and men. It's such an honor to be a part of her campaign.
You know, we've come to know you, Congressman, here on Capitol Hill, but Representative Black started off in the Tennessee legislature as a state senator, as a state representative. What stood out to you, Marjorie, from her time there?
To me, it's her vision. I don't want to embarrass you here, but pretend like you're not here for a minute. It's her vision in going after the heart of what's wrong in Tennessee a ways back in their Constitution. They had a protection against pro-life measures. In other words, a constitutional protection for reproductive rights and all that. And she knew that that had to be the first thing to fall before any pro-life protections could come along. So even in the legislature, she went for the gold. She didn't go around the edges and do other things. She went right for the heart of the matter. And eventually, as time went on, she and her husband were successful in overturning that provision. It eventually became an amendment, Amendment 1. They were the king and queen of that of overturning that provision, and now they've been in the legislature getting to the work of turning that all back. And now, as governor, she will be able to enact all the pro-life protections that a woman like she has up her sleeve, and there's a lot.
And Congressman, I do want to speak about that specifically, Amendment 1. It's really interesting in Tennessee because it amends the Tennessee Constitution to read in part, nothing in the Constitution secures or protects a right to abortion. There was a challenge to the vote count, but that's now been put to rest. So what do you anticipate to come next? Do you see more pro-life legislation coming forward now?
I do. I think my goal is to make us the most pro-life state in the entire union, where we honor that God places that baby in that womb. He knows every hair on their head. And that's really my goal, is to look at what can we do next. When I first came to the state legislature almost 20 years ago, and I knew what our Constitution prohibited us from doing in making sure that women were safe during the time of abortion. And I wanted to be sure that we recognized in our state, which is a very conservative state, that we honored life. And so it took a constitutional amendment to be able to do that in our state. And actually it was Planned Parenthood that challenged our state and caused us to be in the situation we were in, and we had to reverse that. The only way to reverse that was by doing a constitutional amendment, which is very difficult to do in the state of Tennessee. It's a long procedure. It took 14 years in order to make that happen, but you never, ever give up.
And look at now, look at the amendment that's there. Finally, Congressman, I want to end on this question. There are some reports out there that you have voted to support Planned Parenthood. Some reports saying that you voted at least on 8 occasions in favor of Planned Parenthood. What's your response to that?
Well, that's what they try to do. The opposition will always try to twist things around. But we know that in order, every time I have ever voted for any measure that could defund Planned Parenthood, we have done that. But there are some things in our budget that we have to be able to get the votes for. And so, look, we'll keep on working to take every dollar we can away. I applaud what the president has done in this measure. It's still going to take some time in order to take away all of that funding within the budget, and we'll keep on working until that does happen.
I would just add, Diane is the author of the Defund Planned Parenthood bill in the House of Representatives. No one is better prepared to really get that done than she.
Thank you for that clarification. Representative Diane Black of Tennessee and Marjorie Dannenfelser of the Susan B. Anthony list, thank you both for being here.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.